So this video is on how to do the algebra tile worksheet from the other day. Okay, so on this first problem, x squared plus 3x plus 2, that means we're going to have 1x squared, 3 x's, and 2 1's. So let me get my algebra tiles. Okay, so I'm going to have 1 of these, 3 of these, and 2 of these. And what I would recommend that you do is put your x squared in the top left corner, and you're going to do your x's to the right and possibly underneath. Okay. Now, if I put all my 3x's here, I've got 3 of them. I can have 3 here and none here, but that's not going to help with these 2 pieces I have. I'm going to take one of these and turn it by double clicking and move it here, and now you see that this fits in nicely. Okay, so this is the rectangle that I'm going to put on my document. And just to make sure that everyone understands how to do this, if you're doing it on a Chromebook, in terms of doing this on a Chromebook, just switch over to the Chromebook here. So I'm going to show you guys the buttons for those of us who may not know. Okay. So let me share the camera. Okay. So if you have a Chromebook, if I want to do like a screenshot, but not a whole entire screenshot, but just like a section shot, I can do Control Shift. So I'm going to hold Control Shift and then this right here. Okay. Now, once I do that, let me just get rid of this light. Let's see if I can get this to look a little nicer. Let's see. We'll just see how the best as I can do. So I had done that, and now my mouse, my little cursor, it looks a little different. Okay. So usually I would try to put my little cursor right by where I want to do this. And again, I hit that Control Shift, and then the one that looks like a box with 3 lines. And then I'm going to, let me see if I can just get this to move so I can do this a little easier. And so I'm going to take this, just focus ever so slightly. Okay. And then now I'm going to drag. Okay, I'm dragging. And now it did that. And now I've got my image. Now, where do I get my image? I'm going to get my image from my Google Drive. Okay. So on this Chromebook, let me just do this. I am going to get to my worksheet. Okay. And I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit since I'm trying to balance the Chromebook here. Okay, and if I want to now insert that, I'm going to come over here to add media. I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to my computer. Let's see if how that is. Okay, and I want to look at my, let me look under images and see if it's here. Okay, under images, and here is screenshot. I'll click on this and I'm gonna open. Sorry, I'm balancing this. And now I have that image, and now I can drag that image. Okay. So I'm just gonna drag it here. I'm gonna click it here. Okay, yours isn't gonna say that because I have the master copy here. And now you can see that that is there. So if I scroll, let me scroll. Sorry, I'm balancing this. Put that there. And if I scroll, you see I have that there on there. So again, what buttons did I press? I pressed Control, Shift, and this. And when I do, then my little cursor is going to change the way it looks. Okay, and then if I wanted to grab something, so let's just say I want to get this x squared plus 3x plus 2, just as an example, I am going to click on my mouse, and then I can drag it, and then it's going to take that image, and now I've got that image if I want it. Okay, so let me switch back to my computer. Okay, so I'm going to go to my worksheet. Okay, here's my worksheet. I'm going to refresh it because I just added it on. Okay, so you can see I had it on a different device, but now it's here. So now what are we doing? Now here, I'm going to maybe make this a little smaller. Oops. I think because I've already clipped it, maybe I can't make it smaller here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to, let me just find my mouse. Okay, so we are going to try to figure out the outside. Okay, now remember this right here is x by x, that's how we get the x squared. And each of these pieces here, this is 1 by x. Okay, this is a 1, this is a length of x. Together they multiply and give me that area. Okay, so what that means is when I'm going across, this is x, this is going to be 1, this is another 1, so I get x plus 2. Again, on the other side, this is x, and then this right here is 1, so I get x plus 1. And so we want to write the area as a product, and the area as a product is the area on the outside. Okay, so that is going to be your length times width. I don't care which one you write first. X plus 1 times x plus 2 equals, and then I'm going to add up all of the inside, my x squared, my 1, 2, 3 x's, so this is an x squared plus 3x, and then I have my 2 1's. Okay, so that's my plus 2. Let me get it back in a color we can see, and then that would be your answer. Now, in case you're typing that part, especially down here, let me just get rid of this piece here. Oops, hold on. I don't want to get rid of all of that. Okay. Okay, so if I want to type, and if I'm just going to do one line, and I want to have like exponents, I'm going to come to just this where it says equation here. If I'm going to do more than one line, then I would probably come to my text box, and then up here at the tippy top, this f of x is our other equation, and then I can start doing my math, okay, and then get out of it and hit return, and then get my f of x again and kind of keep things lined up if I want to do it that way. Now for us, we just have to do one line, so I'm just going to come grab it right here, okay. I'm going to put it right here, and that should be fine. Let me just make this, let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so if I want to do this, again, I chose my equation text. I'm going to go parenthesis x plus 2 close my parenthesis, another parenthesis, x plus 1 equals x. And now if I want to get an exponent, there's two ways to do it. I can come over here to where this pi is, and whoops, let me get rid of those colors, and come here to this. Or if I'm in my equation box, if I hit shift and the number 6, shift and 6, that is going to make it raise, and then I can do x squared. And then I arrow out of that plus 3x plus 2. So the first part of this is your area as a product. The second part of this is your area as a sum. Let me just write that for us here. You don't have to write that out every time. I'm going to write it so that we understand. So this right here is going to be area as a product. Oops, I can spell. Equal. And this side here is area as a sum. Okay. So now for this next one, I want to have 6 x's and 15 of our ones. So let me just get those. So just kind of as a reminder, again, I want 6 x's. So if I wanted to do this and I didn't want to get all 6 of them, let's say I got 3 of them and I kind of drag across and they kind of highlight where you see that yellow. Let's go see if I can make it a little bigger here. Let me make it a little bigger. Okay, so if I drag my mouse, hold on. If I drag my mouse across, now it's being difficult for me. Let me refresh this page. Okay, let me start again. Let's see if I can do this now. Okay, so let's say I have 3 of these and I drag across. Now that it's highlighted, if I do Control C, that's going to copy. And I just kind of clicked off of it. Now I'm going to do Control V, and now I've got my 6. And then I need 15 of these. So let's say I'm going to get 2 of these to start with. I'm going to go across. I'm going to copy. Okay, so that's 2. So that's going to be 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 15. And then I'm going to try to make a rectangle with this. So for this, again, we match up our x's together. And for some of these, there might be more than one answer. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. Now, I can start putting these underneath here. Now, the only problem is when I'm doing that, I've got 6 of those going across. I'm not going to have an even set of 6, okay? Because this is a 15 and 6 doesn't go into 15, so I'm not going to have groups of 6. So maybe I'm going to have to try to do this in a different way, okay? So let's see what we can do here. What I'm thinking is I can get both of these to be groups of 3, okay? Either this direction, or if I wanted to, I could double click and flip them the other direction. Okay, I'm just going to keep them like this. And I'm going to be putting these here. So I've got 3. Now, again, this was 15, so I can get groups of 3. Okay, so I'm just going to pause for a second. I'm going to get my groups of 3. Okay, so this is what I ended up getting. And so again, I was just trying to think of how I can get even amounts of groupings. So if I have 6, I can't get my 15 ones again to groups of 6, but I can get them into groups of 3. 6 can be into groups of 3, 2 groups of 3, and my 15 can. So now I'm going to get my image, okay? Now when I do this, it's going to be slightly different way than you guys did. You guys are going to do it the way I showed it, okay? Now I'm going to have to save it somewhere. Okay, and let me grab it. So I am going to come to add media. Mine's going to be in downloads, so mine's in a different spot. Here's mine. Now I can make this bigger if I want, okay? And then I want to find the outside of this. Okay, so again, when I'm doing this, going here, this is going to be x, this is going to be x, so that's actually going to be 2x. Okay, and then if I continue going down the side, these are 1, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be 2x plus 5. Now going across the top, these are 1s, 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be a 3. Okay, and let me just kind of get rid of this that I kind of wrote messy. Okay, so now I'm going to do my area as a product equal area as a sum. Okay. And so my area as a product, it's going to be 3 times 2x plus 3 equals, and then when I combine all of this, I get, basically, I get what they gave me here. I get 6x's plus 15, so this is going to be 6x plus 15. And let me just get it onto my actual paper. And if I want to, I can kind of fill it. And that's going to be my area as a product equal area as a sum. Now on one like letter C, I need 2x squared, 7x's, and 6 1s. So let me get that organized. Okay, so I have my 2x squareds, I have my 7x's, and I have my 6 1s. Okay, so again, when I'm doing this, here, let me just move these. So I'm just going to kind of highlight these. Let me just move them out of the way. And I'm going to move these here. So I'm going to have my x squareds next to each other, whether I do it this direction or I do it this direction. Okay, it's up to you. Let's say I do it this direction. Now, again, these can only match up on the x side. I cannot go like this. That's not going to be proper because these are ones and not enough ones actually make this up. So if I was to do this here, okay, and let me move that, you see that these ones do not exactly match up. So you never want to do it that way. You only want to have an x side with an x side. Okay, so let me move these. So I have 6 of these. So I'm going to have to split my 6 into even amounts. Okay, so I just got to figure out how I can do that. I'm thinking that maybe, let's see. So far I've got this. That's going to give me 3 of these. Okay. And then I've got these 2. Now I need 2 of these, 1 underneath each of these x squareds. And here, let me move these here. And there's my picture. Okay, so I'm going to paste, snip this and put it on my worksheet. So I snipped it. I'm coming over here, gonna get it. Again, mine's going to be under downloads. Yours, it would be in images. There I go. Okay, and then we want to find the outside of this. So when I'm finding the outside of this, again, this dimension here is x. This is x. Okay, so I've got x. I have another x, so that's going to be 2x. On this side, this is an x, so that's going to be an x. Now, these other bits are ones. I've got 1, 2, 3, so that's going to be a plus 3. And here I've got 1, 2, so that's going to be a plus 2. And now I'm going to write my area as a product equal area as a sum. And I'm just going to get my equation box. Okay. Let me, so I'm going to go parenthesis and let me move it up a little so we can see it. And I'm going to highlight it so you can, I'm going to do a fill there. Okay. So I'm going to go parenthesis x plus 2. And then parenthesis 2x plus 3. It doesn't matter which one I write first. That's my area as a product. My area as a sum is going to be all of the inside. So I've got 2x squareds. You see right here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 x's, 7x, and here's my 6 ones. So I'm going to write 2x, and again, when I'm in this equation mode, if I hit shift and 6, it's going to raise it up, and I can put my power, and then I arrow out of that, and then I go plus 7x plus 6. Whoops, 7x. Plus 6. And that's my answer. Okay. Now the next one here, I have 1xy, 1x, 1y, 1, 1. So let me get that organized. Okay, so here's my xy, here's my x, my y, and my 1. So my x can only go alongside an x, so I'm going to flip it to go like this. And my y can only line up with the length of y, so I'm going to flip it and put it like this. And there's my 1. And I'm going to snip this or screenshot it. Okay, I'm going to come here to media. Again, I screenshotted it. I'm going to grab it. Okay. And I'm going to put it here. And now I'm going to try to find the outside. Okay, now this side here is an X. This side up here, let me grab a different color. I'll do maybe this blue. This side up here is a Y, okay? And then each of these is going to be a 1 and a 1. So that's going to be plus 1, plus 1. So let me write area as a product. Okay, again, I grabbed my equation box here. And so I'm going to go parenthesis x plus 1, parenthesis y plus 1 equals, and I'm going to add up all the insides. I have an xy, I have an x, I have a y, I have a 1. None of them are like terms, so I'm going to write xy plus x plus y plus 1. It doesn't matter which one you write first, okay? I'm just writing it the same way they wrote it there. And let me just, I'm going to fill this. There you go. And that's that answer. So ones like this, okay, you're going to be doing it in a similar manner. So hopefully this is helpful to you. If you need more, I'll be working out more, but if you kind of get the gist of it, then hopefully you can just complete the rest of your classwork. I'm going to continue working for those of us who maybe are still struggling. So right now I'm doing 2x squared plus 10x plus 12. Here's my 2x squareds. Here's my 10x's. And here's my 12 ones. Okay, so I'm going to keep my x squareds like this. And I have 12 of these, so I can split 12s different ways. I can split it like a 2 rows of 6 or 3 rows of 4 or so forth, okay? So we're going to kind of see what's going to work out for us. Now, one thing that's going to happen is if I put anything down here, I can't just put 1, I'm going to have 2 of them. And every time I do that, I'm going to be doing 2 of these with 1 of these, and that's going to make 1 of these, okay? So let me kind of keep going. If I do that here, now I can put 2 here. Okay, so let me just kind of see what's happening. And again, as I'm doing this, if it doesn't work out for me, that's fine. I'm going to just make an adjustment. So let's say I just keep going this way. I think you'll realize, hold on, let me just get the bottoms of these, that I can't just keep doing this. I'm not going to have enough spots for my ones. Okay, so as I'm just trying to grab them in pairs. Okay, so you see here I have 4 left over. So let's say I start grabbing. Okay, now I can't just grab 1, I grab 2 and I move it from one side to the other side. Now, when I do that, I'm going to have to fill in with some of these. So I'm going to fill in here. I'm going to fill in here. And these have no spot, so I'm going to move them here. And there you go. So let me snip this. Okay, so now I'm going to come to media. I'm going to grab that. Again, mine's in downloads. Yours is probably going to be under the file folder under images. Okay, here I go. I'm going to actually make this a little smaller. Okay, and then I'm going to try to find the outside. Okay, let me just kind of zoom in so you guys can see this though. So again, remember this is an X and another X, so that's going to be 2X. This is an X, so that's going to be X. Now all of these are going to be ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. And there you go. So now, and there's more than one way to do this. You could have set it up slightly different, but this is just one way. Okay. So let me get my equation. And let me it doesn't matter if I usually do the one with the number in front first, but it doesn't matter. 2x plus 6. You always want your x's in front. So this side here, I don't want to write 2 plus x. I would rather write x plus 2. Okay, so always have your x's in front of your number. So x plus 2 equals, and then again, it's everything inside, which is going to be your 2x squareds. You can just count them, 2x squareds, 10 x's, 6 ones. We also have it right here. They actually gave it to us so we knew how many to grab. So 2x raise, do your shift and 6 to get it raised to the power 2. Arrow out of that, so you're out of your exponent, plus 10x plus 12. Okay, and I'm going to, I'm going to come here and fill. Okay. So the next one, I am going to have 2y squareds and 6y's. Okay, so here's my 2x squareds and my 6y's. Again, there's different ways you can go about doing it. I actually can just come and put all of these here. Let me just kind of move these. If you just kind of like, I'm grabbing them, well, I need to actually scoot all that slightly over there. So this is a possibility, okay? I could have built it going down also. Okay, so this is the one I designed. Let me grab this. Okay, so grab it. Now I'm going to kind of shrink this down a little so we can kind of get it here. And I can shrink it a little, okay, to get it on my paper. I'm going to zoom in though so you guys can see. Here, let me move it so you guys can see the problem. And then I need to find the outside. Okay, so this, remember, is a y. This is a y, another y, so that's going to be 2y. And then these are each 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 6. So come grab your equation, put it here, okay. Y times, if I have a single thing, a single term, I usually put that in front. Y times 2y plus 6 equals, and then I'm going to combine everything. That's a 2y, again, shift and 6 to raise to a power plus 6y. And there you go. So next one. This one, I need a y squared, xy, 2 x's, and 2 y's. So, okay, so I've got my y squared, my 2 y's, my 2 x's, and my xy. So looking at this, I know that this y has to either go like this or like this. It doesn't matter here. I'm going to put it here. Now, these x's have to go alongside the x. And then now you can see that these y's are going to go there. And that's going to be our rectangle. So there's my image. This, remember, is a y. This is a y. This is an x, so this is going to be plus x. That's an x. And these are ones, 1, 2, so plus 2. So I'm going to write my areas of product equal areas of sum. So let's say I write parenthesis y plus x, parenthesis y plus 2 equals y to the second plus xy plus 2y plus 2x. And that's your answer. So I'm just going to move it. Well, I guess I have a lot more room. I don't know why I'm scrunching it. There you go. Okay, so the next one, I have 3x squared, it's 4x plus 1. So let's try that one. Okay, so I'm going to keep all my x squareds here like this because I know, let me just move these. If I put it here, there's nothing that I could put here because this would match on this x squared side. Okay, this x squared would match on this side, but here it's not going to match up here. So I know that these are all going to be like this. Now, if I put anything underneath this, I need to put 3 of them because I've got 3 of those. And that's going to work out because that's going to leave me with 1 there and 1 there. Okay, so I inserted it and now I'm going to find the outside. So this is an X. These are each an X, 1X, 2 X's, 3 X's. And then this is going to be a 1. And this is going to be a 1. So I'm going to go parenthesis 3x plus 1, parenthesis x plus 1 equals the 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. Again, I'm really counting all of, I'm adding up everything on the inside, but it ends up being this. Now, what we really are doing, but we don't know we're doing something called factoring. We're factoring this trinomial. It's something you're going to see in Integrated 2. Right now, we're just practicing, trying to understand how to deal with these algebra tiles because it's going to help us with multiplying out binomials. So if I was to multiply out 3x plus 1 times x plus 1, this is the answer I would get. If I was to factor 3x squared plus 4x plus 1, this is the factors that I would get. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going with this for next year. Okay, next one. Let me grab those. Okay, so on this, when I'm trying to do this, I have my y squared, my xy, those can't go next to each other. So let's see, I'm going to put my big one up here. I'll put my x squared up here. And I'm thinking that maybe I will put these xy's here like this. And I'm thinking maybe I'll put my x squared here. Let's see how this is going. I'm going to be putting a y here. Now, if I did this, and I put all my y's here, and I put all my x's here, that's great, but then I've got these two. So I'm thinking that maybe I need to take at least one of these y's and at least one of these x's and move them. And there you go. So again, I like to kind of build to the right, and then I can just kind of shift them down to the bottom if it doesn't work out. Okay, so let me put this on our. So on this, just make sure. I am going to be finding the outside. And so let me get my colors. Okay, so this is going to be X and, sorry, X, wow, Y. That's a Y. So this is going to be Y by Y. Okay. Now this here is an X length, so that's going to be plus X. And this is also going to be a plus X. And then this is going to be a plus 2. And this is going to be a plus 1. Here, let me get that. Plus 1. Okay. So let me write that out. Okay. So this is going to be parenthesis y plus x plus 1. I don't need a capital. Y plus x plus 1. And then my other one is going to be y plus x plus 2 equals, and I'm going to just copy what I have at the top, x squared. When I say at the top, I mean at the top of this box with the problem they originally gave us, plus 2xy plus y squared plus 3x plus 3y plus 2. And this is going to be an x. And I keep wanting to give c's. Okay. And there's our answer. Okay, so the next one. So on this one, let's see. I've got some x by y, so these y's definitely are going to have to go here. There's nowhere else for them really to go. Now, what I could do is I don't think I can just take these and put them here because that's not going to help with these 2 1s and then this. So I'm definitely going to need one of these like here, but I'm thinking maybe I need to adjust this. Let's see. I think I'm going to move them here, here. Yep, that's going to work. It just takes a little bit of trial and error. Okay, so let me get this. Okay, so looking at this, whoops, wrong color. Let me get my, this is going to be y and another y, so that's going to be 2y. This is going to be x, and then this is a 1, whoops, this is a 1, so that's going to be plus 1. Here we've got 2 1s, so that's going to be plus 2. So let me write I'm gonna start writing here. I want to move it once I write something in it. Okay, put it right here. Okay, so this is going to be, let's say 2y plus 1 times x plus 2 equals 2xy plus 4y plus x plus 1. And let me shrink this down so I can see that whole thing. Okay. Now these ones, they want us to write the area of the following rectangle product as a product and as areas of sum. So this is basically what we were just doing, but we didn't have to draw it out. Okay. So we're going to have to pay attention to what dimensions we have here. So this looks like it's a y because again, this is an x by y. So that's my y. This would be my x. Okay, so this is going to be an x. Again, this is going to be a y. And then these I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be plus 4. Now over here, this actually is another x. So I've got plus x. And this is going to be, oops, plus 2. So they want us to write area as a product equal area as a sum. So for that, my area as a product, again, like on the side, you don't want to write it as a 4 plus x. You're going to write it as like an x plus 4. I'm going to write the one that's longer on top. So I'm going to write the y plus x plus 2 first times x plus 4 equals, and here, let me kind of zoom out so I can move this. There we go. Okay, and okay, so now I have, when I count all this up, I have an xy, okay? So I have an xy. I also have an x squared, it looks like. So this is my xy. This is an x squared, okay? I'm going to list my x squared first. Doesn't really matter. Plus I have an xy. Plus I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 y's it looks like, plus 4y, plus my x's. You want to be careful with your x's because we actually have x's in a couple of places. So these are x's right here. All of these are x's. And these are x's. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to have plus 6x. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ones. Okay. And there's my answer. Similar idea on 85. Okay. So just to make sure everyone understands, these are all x squareds right here. Okay, all the ones I'm putting a little dot on, these are all x squareds. Okay. The other ones, so like all of these, I've got all of these and all of those are going to be x's, and then these are going to be my ones. Okay. So here, let me just start by writing that part of it. So I'll put the equal, and I've got, if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8x squareds. So I have 8x squared plus I've got 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is going to be, let me just kind of jot that down. But this here, is going to be, let me get rid of that. This is really going to be 12 x's, it looks like. And here, right, 1, 2, 3, 4 by 3. And here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 2. So this right here is going to be, looks like 10 x's here. And again, let me just kind of get rid of these for a sec. Let's see if I can get rid of those faster. Okay. So these are going to be my, what was it, 8x squareds. And then my ones up here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 3. So it looks like I'm going to have 15 of those. So let me get rid of that. Okay, and I'm going to have 15 of these. Okay, so let me just write that out. So that's going to be x squared plus, I have a 12x and a 10x, which is 22x plus 15. Okay, now let me find the outside. So for the outside, this is an x, this is an x, so that is a 2x. I'm going to do it on the bottom. Top and bottom are the same. Let me just look here. So this is going to be 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. So that's 4x. And then I'm going to have 1, 1, 1. So that's going to be plus 3. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be a plus 5. So in front of this, let me get into this. I'm going to go parenthesis 2x plus 3 parenthesis 4x plus 5, close my parenthesis, and let me move this out, and let me highlight it. There you go. Hopefully this was helpful.